Hi, and welcome to my kitchen. I'm here today to talk to you about some new Australian research that is showing what a nation of confused eaters we are. So many of you have said that you're confused about the mixed messages and you're turning to fad diets and quick fix promises in an attempt usually to lose weight. One of the things the research has shown is that we're cutting our carbs to lose weight. Now, unfortunately, that means that we're cutting out the good carbs, and they give us some really important things like fiber, great for gut health. We're losing out on plant protein. Yes, those good carbs give us protein too. And we know that whole grains are really important. The research clearly shows that people who eat more whole grains are actually leaner. They're not fatter than people who don't eat grains at all. So what I did was develop my Dr. Joanna plate as a model to help you to create a healthy meal with the perfect balance of protein, what I call smart carbs, good fats, and lots of plant food like I've got in front of me here. One of the things we'll specifically talk about today is bread, because I think that is one area that really people are confused about. So we're going to talk through the different types of bread, and I'm going to show you using my plate model how to put together the perfectly balanced sandwich for the entire family. So I've got one that's great for the kids and one for the grown-ups too. So let's talk about bread. Now I've got a selection of supermarket breads here. So at this end I've got the basic white bread. Now I know lots of you tell me the kids will only eat white bread. The good news is that there's actually a whole bunch of much better white breads on the market that have added fiber, they're lower GI, or they have extra nutrients like omega-3s added. Next up we have a multigrain. Now multigrain is basically white flour but has a whole bunch of whole grains thrown in there. Now if your kids don't like the bits in the bread, wholemeal is a really good option. This is actually made with entirely whole grain flour that's been ground down, but you're getting all of the fiber. Best of all, the absolute best bread you can get is this one, the nice dark heavy whole grains. That's where it's made with whole grain flour, it's got all that fiber and they tend to be the lowest GI. And that's the one we're going to use for our grown-up sandwich today. Now I'm going to use poached chicken in both of my sandwich recipes today, and this is a great little tip. I do this all the time. Rather than relying on packaged processed meats, get yourself a whole chicken, you pop it in a deep stock pot, and I've just put in some garlic and some fresh herbs. Cover it with water and simmer it on the stovetop for about an hour. This is my finished poached chicken. Now you've got enough meat on there to last sandwiches for the whole week, and you've got a stock for some recipes through the week. Now let's talk about what we're going to have. So I'm using my poached chicken. I'm going to make a lovely little dill lemon yogurt dressing, and we'll use some hummus and lettuce and salad and so on in there. So let's start with our dill dressing. Now I love using fresh herbs. Not only do fresh herbs add flavour, but actually they are bursting with antioxidants and other phytochemicals that do us good. And I'm just going to pop some, this is just basic natural yogurt, add that dill, and some fresh lemon rind, and a little squeeze of lemon juice. Give it a stir. Now into our chicken, we're using this nice grainy bread here. And I'm just going to spread some hummus. And I love using things like hummus and avocado or olive oil instead of using standard old butter and margarine. And I like to use lots of different leafy greens, so be experimental with the kind of greens that you're using. And our good source of protein, of course, is that poached chicken. So let's pop that on the top. And then whatever veggies you've got. So I'm going to put some sliced beetroot and some sliced cucumber on top. And then I drizzle over my dressing and then pop this on top. And we'll cut this in half so it's a little more elegant. And there we have it, real fast food. Doesn't that look delicious? Now, if you've got kids in the house who will only eat white bread, here's a really good tip to start getting them used to some of those grainier breads. You could start by using one slice of the white, one slice of the wholemeal, and gradually they'll start to get used to it, and eventually they'll have the wholemeal without any problem. Now, what I'm going to use, it's always the challenge to get the plant food into the kids. So I'm actually going to put some apple. So I'm just going to use about a quarter of this apple, grate it, and I'm going to mix it with some of my shredded poached chicken. And here I'm using a beautiful extra virgin olive oil mayo. Now I've made this myself, it's super easy if you've got a food processor or a Vitamix. So we just mix that. You might want to put in a touch of black pepper, but if your kids hate black pepper, don't worry, leave that out. And that's our basic filling. Now we all know the problem with kids' sandwiches in the lunchbox. Tends to go a little bit soggy if you've got a mayo type dressing like that. So a great little tip is to use something like Cos lettuce, mostly because it's got some real crunch. And this is just going to help that bread to stop going quite so soggy by lunchtime. We spoon on our chicken and apple mixture, spread it out. The top goes on with that second lettuce leaf. Now, if your kids are a bit like mine and they won't tolerate too much salady stuff, a good tip is just to put it separately. So I'm using some carrot battens here, or some cucumber sticks, or maybe some cherry tomatoes. And very often you find the kids will nibble away at those while they eat their sandwich. So there we have it, 2 perfectly balanced sandwiches. The whole family are going to enjoy them. So look, I hope this has helped you to really ditch the fads. What this is about is real eating. It's whole foods, it's about getting back to basics, and it's sensible eating for the whole family.